Hey everybody, this is the Mage of Ancients back at it again with another weekly vlog. As you already know, Konami has released the new ban list for the TCG for September 2017 this past Monday. And they debuted the new format right on the spot. I'm sure we all knew before the ban list was released that Zodiacs was going to get hit and basically just nullified for this format. Which is okay for me. We all knew how overpowered the Zodiac Trident and how versatile that the Zodiac Broad Bull and the other Zodiac monsters are. But Konami hit a bunch of other cards on the ban list. If you want to see my full reaction time episode of the new ban list, then you can click the link in the description and it will also be at the end of this video. While we're on the subject of the ban list, I didn't really take the time to just let the ban list settle into my mind and then figure out which decks are the best to play in this format. So for this weekly vlog, I figured that I would give you guys my picks of what decks you should look out for, as well as decks that you should play for this new format. Of course, if you guys have any ideas for decks that you should play in this format, then be sure to leave those suggestions in the comments below. With that being said, the first archetype that I'm going to be talking about today is Paleozoic. And the reason why I'm mentioning Paleozoic first is because of the new Water Link monster that's going to be released. As a matter of fact, by the time that this video is uploaded, the new Water Link monster would have already been released in the special edition version of Code of the Duelist, basically 1 month earlier than its official release in Circuit Break. And the new Water Link monster is called Miss Starboy. It works in the same way as Mrs. Radiant, boosting the attack and defense of all water monsters on the field. Compared to the last format, it has been a bit difficult to spam out multiple Paleozoic Xyz monsters and Totally Awesomes out onto the field. But Miss Starboy could give another chance for Paleozoic Xyz monsters and Totally Awesomes to still fully function like they did in the past format. Not only is it because of Miss Starboy that Paleozoics is a deck that you should look out for in this format, but it's also because of Totally Awesome getting reprinted in the Megatins, basically making Totally Awesome 1/5 of the price of what it was when it was originally released, and therefore making the overall Paleozoic Frog deck much more affordable. So if you want to play Paleozoics, then here is one strategy that I think you should approach the deck with. What you want to do is take the first turn, so that way you can set all the trap cards that you need to. So that way on your opponent's turn, you can activate them and then spam out as many Paleozoic traps from your graveyard as you can. One way to approach this is by using a trap called Needlebug Nest. So what you can do is that you can mill the top 5 cards of your deck and then put them in your graveyard. So that way, any other traps that you activate during that turn, you can chain your Paleozoic trap cards from your graveyard and then special summon them to your field. So that way on your next turn, you can banish those Paleozoic trap cards in your main monster zones from your field, so you can link summon your Miss Starboy, thus setting the stage for all the Paleozoic Xyz and Totally Awesome monsters that you want. As an added bonus, all Paleozoic cards are immune to your opponent's monster effects while they're in the main monster and extra monster zones, which makes Paleozoic a good archetype to consider, especially when you're going against the boss monster of this next archetype, and this archetype is ABC. Still, even though Zodiac Trident is banned, people will look towards ABC Dragon Buster as the next best thing. After all, quick effects have been a big deal in the latest formats, and they will continue to be in the formats to come. I think the big problem that ABC players will face in this new format is being able to get out as many copies of Dragon Buster at a time, or even within the same turn. Which means that the best way for ABC players to get out as many copies of Dragon Buster as possible is to get out a Link monster first. As of right now, we don't have a light Link monster that works in the same way as Mrs. Radiant and Miss Starboy. So in the meantime, Decode Talker will have to be ABC players' best bet for a Link monster to set the stage for multiple Dragon Buster monsters. So here's how I think ABC players should approach this dilemma. First, they have to get out all 3 pieces, A. Assault Core, B. Buster Drake, and C. Crush Wyvern in the main monster zones first. Then, send those effect monsters to the graveyard so they can link summon their Decode Talker. And then from there, they can banish those 3 pieces from the graveyard so they can get out a Dragon Buster. If you guys have any other strategies and ideas on how to get as many copies of ABC Dragon Buster out onto the field, then be sure to leave those suggestions in the comments below. I have mentioned the Link monster for every archetype that I mentioned up to this point. But this next archetype that I'm going to be mentioning includes a link monster that is going to be made specifically for this archetype, and that archetype is Spiral. In case you haven't heard, there are going to be 2 link monsters that are going to be released in Circuit Break, which are made specifically for 2 existing archetypes, Spiral and Subterror. To my surprise, this new Spiral link monster is getting more praise than the new Subterror link monster. But there is a good reason why. Spiral Double Helix basically extends the combos of the Spiral archetype. All it takes to link summon are 2 Spiral monsters. And when you correctly guess the type of the top card of your opponent's deck, then you can essentially summon back one of the Spiral monsters that you used for the link summon of Spiral Double Helix. It could be a quick fix, which means that you can keep adding more Spiral Gear cards from your deck to your hand. Or if you haven't used its effect already, you can special summon back your Spiral Super Agent so you can pop a spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. I was very skeptical about Spirals at first because I thought that they didn't really do that much. But now with the new Spiral Link monster, I'm really eager to build a deck like this. Or if anything, I could just go over to Subterror to see how that plays out. You guys gotta help me. I don't know which deck I want to build. Please guys, give me your suggestions on whether I should build a Spiral deck or a Subterror deck. The last archetype I'm going to mention for today is an honorable mention, and that archetype is Lightsworn. The reason why I put Lightsworn as an honorable mention is because the archetype does come at a cost. In my opinion, milling from your deck is more of a risk than it is a benefit. Remember, there is the possibility that you could lose some of your more important cards like Lumina Lightsworn Summoner, Judgment Dragon, Solar Recharge, and Charge of the Light Brigade. On the flip side, milling is what makes Lightsworns so much fun to play, especially since the Twilight Sworns make the overall Lightsworn archetype more consistent because of their ability to chain off of other Lightsworn monsters' effects. The Twilight Sworns allow players to dig deeper through their deck, allowing the players to more likely reach the cards that they want, like multiple copies of Wolf and Felis, for example. Also, since the monster Honest is now off the ban list, then you are more likely to give your Lightsworn monsters a power boost if you want to. Charge of the Light Brigade is also off the ban list, making it much easier for you to search for the level 4 or lower Lightsworn monsters that you want. Take a Lightsworn monster like Lumina. What you can do is that you can use Charge of the Light Brigade to mill 4 cards, then search for Lumina off of that card. Then you can use Lumina's effect to special summon any one of the Lightsworn monsters that you send to your graveyard with Charge of the Light Brigade. You may have also seen or heard players mash up Lightsworns with zombies, specifically the Skull Servants. So the basic strategy is to dig through your deck with your Lightsworns and then get out one copy, at least one copy of King of the Skull Servants. And that particular monster gains attack for every Skull Servant named monster in your graveyard. With this strategy, your King's attack can potentially reach over 9,000. Sorry, I always wanted to say that. So that's it for this weekly vlog, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like and comment below on what decks you will be playing in this format. Of course, I've missed a bunch of other archetypes like Pendulum Magician and Cosmo, but let's continue that conversation in the comments below. And we can also continue the conversation on Twitter and Instagram at Mage of Ancients. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.